One thing I forgot to do when I was on the Port Renfrew beach, I forgot to show the wood that I got on the beach. My buddy Tim found this piece right away. I call that a just carve rob hole, so I'll put this aside, let it dry. You know, this kind of hole you can carve it, and then, oh boy, put an owl in the nuke. Here's a thing. I think it's Douglas fir. Uh, Not head, but there's not that much wood up top, and there's kind of some bug holes in there. I've already made a video showing you guys carving this yew wood. Now look at this piece. Look at that burl. It's I found it. I found a couple other pieces. I'm not going to show it, but I found this right when we were leaving. It was kind of lying there. That looks like a burl, and then I pulled it out of the sand, and boom! It's a perfect bird's eye. You can see the bird's eye in there. It's a perfect bird's eye burl. Like, none of this is broken. It looks all natural. It's self-standing too. I haven't done any carving on this piece. Nothing. Well, I did cut. There's a little stick on the back there. I cut it out. Lots of cases, these bird's eye burls are actually maple or yellow cedar. I don't know what type of wood it is, but look at that. What a score this is. So what I do for a piece like this, I put it on my heat register. Yeah, I got like baseboard heaters. I lean it against the register and let it dry out. I'm not going to be carving this for a while because this piece will be like, you know, more than a week carving. I don't know what I'm going to carve on it. Like, I kind of see like a monster head, turtle head coming off here. I just don't know what I'm going to carve on it, but it's not going to be a quick carving, and the whole face is going to be. I just got to process what I'm going to do with it. Might be a year before I carve it. Who knows? But this piece, I believe it's a sequoia. I found it on the beach a couple weeks ago on one of my beachcombing videos. You guys see me find it, whatever. I showed you the color. It was like a bright, dark purple inside there. Probably right about where my finger is. So, this has been sitting on my baseboard drying out. This is what I'm going to carve today, this one. I'm going to do a side view of a wood spirit's face, or of like an old Viking. Well, I don't know if this will be his helmet up here or the hair, but you can see everything's already flowing. Here's a shout out to Larry Dibbs. I said, should I do a side view of a wood spirit, or should I do like a owl and the nuke in the back? He goes, let's see here. He said, no, carve a side view wood spirit. So that's what it's going to be. And for all you though think that I make too many wood spirit videos, I don't care what you say. I just keep doing them. This is, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's sequoia. It's super wide grain. Super. I think it's wide grain. It looks like it's like, see my finger there? That looks like it's one grain here. Our sequoia trees here, they're like foam. They're like water. They're like kind of like cottonwood logs. They just retain so much water, and they're not like the big sequoia trees that are out there in California or whatever it is. So I'm gonna get everything set up. Holy, I've already been talking for 3 minutes. How am I gonna do any carving? Okay, so before I start carving, I want to talk about, this is my Fordham. It's the SR series, okay? It has a forward, off, it has a reverse button right there. I got the industrial flex shaft for this, right? When you buy this, you know, if you go to the Fordham site, look for the square drive kit, because that's the industrial one. The key drive that's inside of these is the normal flex shaft inside, but when you order the square drive, it's a lot stronger and they don't break as much. So when you order the square drive flex shaft, you also have to order the handpiece too. So like I said, this is square drive. And when you guys if you're ordering a Fordham, so you can use the bigger burrs like this 1/4-inch burr here, make sure you order the handpiece that holds the 1/4-inch burrs, because they also make them that they hold the 1/8 burrs and the smaller burrs too. So make sure I think when you're buying a Fordham, there is one in my Amazon store down below. It's safe. It's a real Fordham. But because there's so many knockoff Fordhams, I think when you buy a Fordham, I think you should probably buy it direct from Fordham's site. Or if you're going to buy it off Amazon or eBay, Do your research and make sure it's a real one and not a knockoff one. Like this one here, I think was like the price tag was $300 something. So if you're gonna get a Fordham for, and they say it's like $150, it's a fake one, right? So make sure that you do your due diligence, if that's the proper word, the biggest word I've ever used in my life, to make sure. You can also go to, if you can't afford a real Fordham, I think you can go to like, what do you guys got there in America? Harbor Freight, or around the world, go to your, just Google cheap ones. You can get them for like $70 and they work good too. Because not everybody's heavy hands like I am, and not everybody breaks their inner flex shafts. So once I upgrade, let me just pause this for a second. Okay, see here? See how thick that is? There's the square drive. Once I upgraded to the square drive flex shaft, I don't break them anymore. I used to break the key drives all the time. The square drives are a lot stronger. And please don't email me asking me questions about the video. Go to the Fordham site. Let's think it's Fordham.net, and do your research. And if you want to spend more money, get yourself the square drive flex shaft, and it won't break as much. So this would just be like running a die grinder in your hand, but like a lot smaller. So what I'm going to do now, also, here we go. Here's a Kutzall. It's 1/4 inch that fits in here, so it's bigger than the Dremel bits. So if you want to get these Kutzall burrs, go to the description down below. Take you to the Kutzall site. You save yourself 5%. Use code CFusion. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the outside of this wood to get a nice clean start, because you can see like here, like, so there's going to be a side view of a face going this way, going that way. So what I want to do is take some of this wood off, make it a nice clean edge so I can see the wood grain too. Does that make sense? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I've come to realize this is a big old root piece. It's not sequoia. It's not the wide grain. It just broke. It looked like it was wide grain. This, this is like harder than carving. This is like harder than carving steel. This piece is a hard piece of wood. I even did some sanding there. I don't know what type of wood it is. So what you can do before you start carving, get yourself some water. So there's the water test. So you can see the grain in there. This might even, it almost kind of comes off as it's a piece of yew wood, to tell you the truth. But sometimes you just don't know. Or arbutus. I think it might be arbutus, I really do. Because, if you look at this, so it might be a piece of arbutus wood, because bear with me, friends. Bear with me. Arbutus wood grows twisty. So this could be just like a big piece of arbutus tree that broke off. I'm thinking by the color in right there, I'm thinking that it, well, you know what? I just don't care. And sometimes when you find ocean beechwood, because this is where I got this, you can't really tell by the smell until you get deep into the carving. Once you get deep, because the ocean water, salt water, will get inside here and change this, I don't know, whatever, like I said, scientist shit. I'm not a scientist, but it will change the smell of it on the outside. So maybe I'll have a better idea once I get into the carving. But anyways, this is going to be a long video. And it's going to be a long carving. I kind of want to put this aside and say forget about it and take it to my chainsaw carving area. Just carve Rob suggested. I was talking to him. But so what I'm going to do, but I don't do that. I carry on. So the nose will be here. And this will kind of be like a helmet up here. Right? Then your mustache is going to come around like this. And then you got to remember, so this one's going to be blowing in the wind, like kind of like the last Viking I did. And then your mustache is going to come around here, your other one, right? Yep, carry on. Yep, this, whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hollow out all this right there. Make that nose pop off. Depth. Lots of depth. You can see already that amount of wood that I took off right here. Lots of depth. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is arbutus, but don't hold me to it. I kind of just like it the way it is now. You know, if this guy was going to have a helmet, I can't do it now because I already took his cheekbones down. Because I want to, bear with me, because I want to make all hair coming out of here. Your mustache does not need to stick that far off the face. I took the mustache way down. And I don't know if you guys remember, but this used to stick way higher. Like right here where I'm tapping, you stick higher. You need, things don't go as planned. You need to adjust, right? It's all, carving deeper is carving deeper into the wood, making more depth, getting rid of things that you thought were going to work, but they're not going to work. Carve deeper, carve it away so it does work. So now I'm going to work on the, I guess, forehead. I got to take these eyebrows way down. I kind of like, I could sand this piece right now and call it done. I really could. I like it the way it is right now. You can see what it is. It's a simple, carving side faces like this. I shouldn't say it's simple, but it's a basic looking face, right? Like you can see what it is. That's not basic, but you can see what it is. So carving hardwood is hard on your Dremel. It's hard on your tools. You sent me a message, just carve, Rob. And hi, Rob. Hi, Ben. Got the sock up there. Hope you're doing good with your little pixie thing. Got the just carve Rob piece of toast up there. And all my friends. I'm not going to film, but I'm going to take these eyebrows way down. Carve a forehead in there or something. Who knows? You see how that grain is kind of, well, it's rings in there, but it's kind of all over the place. That's a good indication that you're carving a root piece. So this is 100% arbutus, a big root piece. So I cleaned up the color. I cleaned up, sanded this. I got to do some more sanding down here because I want to try and get those red colors out of there. See those colors in there? I want to try and get that color to pop when I put the finishing coat on it. You guys got to remember, when I'm doing these Dremel carving videos, they're mostly like a few hours. This one's going to be like probably a full day carving, but I don't spend much more of a day than doing these because I want to get the videos done, and I don't really spend a lot of time on my carvings. Sooner or later, I'm gonna like that burl piece that I showed in the video. I'm gonna carve it, and I'm going to take my time, and I'll spend half a year on it, just plug away at it here and there, right? But these wood spirits and stuff like this, they're just one day carvings. This one is, like I said, it's super hardwood. Now, I like the way it's looking. It's looking kind of proportionate. You know, if you look at the view here, look at the mouth compared to the face. The eyebrows should be pushed back a bit farther, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going for realism. Now, what I want to talk about is carving the beard hairs. I'm going to do this in 2 stages, all right? So the beard hairs and the hair hairs. Now, the hair hairs, this, like, you can see this guy's mustache is blowing over in the wind. So I want to make this kind of, hold on, stand by. Okay, so I think this is better for everybody. So I want his hair to be kind of blowing in the wind like that, coming up and over here. His mustache, or sorry, his beard will be coming off his face like this. I carve deeper in here because the hair is pushed back, right? It doesn't have to. Just make it look cool. Who cares, right? So this is going to be the top of his hair. Let's see, maybe we can do a little bit here. I'm going to cut this part deeper and trying, because this wood here is pretty white, but I'm going to cut where there's no hair deeper and maybe see if I can get some of that red color if I carve, deeper hair. There's not going to be any hair here, but try and make this equal with down here for when I put the clear coat on it. So what I mean by doing hair in like what did I say, 2 stages? I got my Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. This is on my Dremel. Okay, my go-to burr right here. Then I got the Kutzall Extreme Flame on my Fordham. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve some big, deep channels in here, right? The deeper that you do it, the more the carving's going to have movement, right? So some big, deep, thick lines. I'll show you guys after. Then I'm going to go along and this is kind of like this is the way I've been doing it for a while. Then I'm going to use this aluminum cutter. All right. You get these are my Amazon store too. These are awesome for hardwood. And you see this one's got cutters on the bottom. It's just a square one. Then I'm going to go along and I'm going to cut in the textures of the hair. So the big deep cuts, the deeper that you carve in there and give this hair like flowing movement, right? Like you'll see what I mean instead of just cutting in the hair on a flat surface, right? So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. Yep. Hi, Liz. You see all these black spots in there? It was a brand new Kutzall burr, extreme flame burr that I was using. Those aren't the wood marks. That is this wood burning. That's how hard this wood. I thought it was going to be super soft. There's the eagle I did the other day with a clear coat on it. All my stuff in a couple weeks when the renovations are almost done, I'm going to put a bunch of stuff on my Etsy store. This wood is freaking hard. Way harder than that yew wood. Way harder than oak, maple, because it's the root. This arbutus is a root piece, and root is always harder wood. I've carved the hardest wood in the world. I think it's called ironbark. It comes from Australia. And some stuff. This wood is, and one of the hardwoods that I carved, and I absolutely did not enjoy carving it, is what's called Osage orange wood. It's got that like a really yellow grain. That was super hard wood. This wood is probably harder than that. But you just got to carry on. So I kind of I carved that, like I said, I wanted to get some color back there, so I got a bit. But I made it look like it was, that piece broke out there that you see sticking up. I left it, don't care. Make it look like it's the back of his hair blowing up. So there's the deep cuts. Here's your side view, just carve, Rob. So, yep, this is a trying piece. These are the aluminum cutters. You get 2 in a pack of 10. You get 2 square ones. There's a bigger one and there's a smaller one. Now, I don't know why. I don't know if any of. I think the bigger one is the one that I like to use. It seems like when you use this one, there's extra flutes on the bottom. It kind of seems like you get a double cut. Maybe the hooks are bigger, like the edges, but it always seems like when you use these smaller ones, you get 2 cuts. I like using this one. Now, you can see I did the beard hairs, and it's so like it's whoosh, this whole piece is blowing in the wind. You see how I came up and under, right? So even here, I come deep down and up and under. So everything's going to be flowing this way. Man, this is going to be a lot of work. I'll film a few minutes of me doing it so you can see. I'll show you how I do up and under. And I just kind of, when I'm using this, you get stops and starts. I kind of get into a rhythm. I'll put my dusk mask on. I'll be cranking the music after I'm showing. Well, I'll have my dusk mask on the whole time. Wear your dusk mask, friends. And yes, I wore the dusk mask. Every second I carved this, you would. Yes, I know it's toxic, but they also said it cured cancer before too. So whatever. Okay, carry on. Okay, so I'm going to do a few minutes live carving, so I won't have my dusk mask, and I'll just show you. So like, here's the bit in the handpiece. I just kind of let it roll over. and you get stops and starts, and we'll clean those up after. So let's just do it right here. Man, I love my new table. So you kind of see how I'm letting the burr roll. So can you see that? So let's go from under here. So I'm going to start hitting it hard here, and you guys can follow along for a few minutes. The deeper that you make your channels before using this burr, it's harder to get in there, right? But it's okay. I love the effect that it gives. And just carry them on. So you can see how that... Okay, so I got to do this off screen. I got to get myself better lighting so I can see what's going on. Lighting's very important. I got a light here, I got one on this side, and I got one on this side. Let me show you quickly. So I got a light there, and I got a light there. So you don't get any shadows. You got light coming from both directions. Later. Okay, so you got eyebrows there too. So when you're using this burr for the very beginners, take your time. You're not in any rush. You know, at first, even because it's been a while since I've used this, I was like, what, Jordy, what the hell are you getting yourself into? What are you getting into? You're stupid. You're stupid, Jordy. Yep. But after a while, you get into a nice flow. Now, let me try and show you like a stops and starts where I was talking about. I went around and cleaned it all up. But, and try and make everything, see how everything kind of flows the same way? So there's the beard, and then the hair comes up from the beard. If you look right there, right in the center of the screen, I'm holding this piece so I can't. Right there, see it looks like a T? That's a stop and a start. Just after you've done it, go along and like look in the center of the screen right there. See those two marks going the other way? Those are stops and starts. After you've gone over the piece, like, you know, got it done, then take the time to go over the stops and starts and just give it a light touch. But see how all those lines were just deep lines? That's how you get that effect, kind of. You know, I could have made them deeper. Doesn't matter. Now, my least favorite part to do. The eye. I got to clean up the bottom of that lip, but we're getting there. What's the word? Prevail. You got to get through it. So now I'm going to look at that crack right on the cheek. I like it. I like that crack. So now what I got to do is carve the eye in. It's just going to be a pupil, like a round eye, no pupil. Just going to, you know how like those old Greek statues are just cement, and then you just see a pupil there, like a round eye with no pupil. That's what this is going to be. I'm not going to film. So everybody knows when you're pretty well done your pieces to sign it. So I did carve them some pupils. That the eye that you're not going to see, I didn't spend too much time on. But so what burrs I used these wall tile cutter burrs. These are great burrs to have. They'll cut through any type of wood. Get them on Amazon. I use this Kutzall taper burr. I think this might be the gold one or the silver. Okay, it's like a reverse cone. This burr is great for eyes. And then I did the burning with this really not very aggressive diamond bit. Okay, so I think I can see the color right around here is going to pop. It's more white. So that would be like, I don't know if Arbutus has water wood or whatever, but this wood's whiter, this is darker, and I can see the different colors in the hair. What I'm going to do, I also hit it with this Peter Blair sanding mandrel.
the sander with emery cloth. I'm not too sure if Pete sells these anymore. I haven't spoke to him in a while. So, but yeah, if you're in the group Carving Fusion World of Wood Carvers, maybe Larry Dibbs or somebody, you could ask for Pete's email address and see if he still sells them. I'm not too sure. So, um, here's a little butane torch. I think this thing needs to be torched just a little bit. I've been known to burn my carvings too much, but I think it needs some burn right in here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Right around the nose, up around the forehead, just to give it some highlights, and maybe under the mustache. Not too much. I'm going to put the camera in the overhead. Okay, so I've burnt this arbutus before. I know it burns really hot, and once you burn it, it's hard to remove the burns. And just give it some shading kind of down here, up along here, under the mustache. Like I said, you don't want to burn your pieces too much. Just my opinion. Like that's a little bit too much. Might as well hit down here more. You can hit the eyebrows just a quick second just to give them little things, and be careful of your eye. And we can do this up here to make it look like the hairs, because the back hairs are separated from the front hairs. Make our mustache carry on. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so I'll hit it with this flap sander. Okay. See how that burn really holds onto the wood? This wood's so hard, the sandpaper's varnishing it, whatever it's called. Lost some detail here on the hair, but that's okay. Man, this is the hardest piece of friggin' wood. Let's put a clear coat on it. Okay, so this is the stuff that I use for indoors. It's the Rust-Oleum Satin Clear. Whew, start running out of the room. Stinky. Okay, everybody, that's going to be it on this one. So, it's kind of a shame. Well, you don't really see any of those nice reds that were in there. It's, I know I kept on saying it's arbutus, it's friggin' yew wood. What this is, I said in the video, it's just a piece of arbutus that broke off. Bone dry arbutus. It was right at the stump. Why I know it's not root? Because, well, it's got that edge there. That's like healing wood edge. So this was just a big arbutus tree. And that's the, man, how am I going to set this up again? That's just the bottom line. This guy kind of looks happy. Kind of looks like a sun spirit or something like that. Spirit of the lion. What do you guys think? Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. It really helps the algorithm try and get my videos out there. And leave a comment. Love reading the comments as well. And thank you for a few people that have sent me PayPals. Bought me a coffee. I appreciate it. So, there you go. There it is. Man, it basically took me a whole day to carve this, so this one's not going to be that cheap on Etsy. No, I'd much rather carve cottonwood bark or cedar. Find yourself some nice softwood to carve. Cottonwood bark holds good detail. Basswood holds good detail. Cedar holds good detail. Stay away from carving the hardwood for the beginners. Carving Fusion. Over and out. But if you don't carve hardwood, how are you going to tell what the wood's like? So it's good to experiment and try carve any type of free wood that you can get. Free piece of wood is going to be on Etsy in a couple weeks.